Okay, well, you know, all that so-called discard, this is a great lesson plan, right? So each one of these should be shaped like if it was, let's just pretend that this is in the container and it's growing like that. So take the opportunity and prune each one of these as if it was a live plant, right? So we always worry about the main line, right? And as we go up, it gets a little busy. Maybe we create a new apex up here. The point is, there is a lot of potential lessons here, and you should take every opportunity to do that. And every time you do this, you get better, right? And then, well, if you're going to be in commercial, let's see how fast you could do it. So, see, this one has the potential to become a bonsai in the future, or if it was alive. Now, I might be greedy and try to make cuttings out of these. Haha. The lesson, nice line, side branch here. And then this one here, it could be kept as a sacrifice branch, but it also needs to be thinned out. Then as we go up, well, there's two lines. The one in the back seems more interesting, so I cut that off. See, so scrap pieces become excellent study material. So like I was saying, this is the sacrifice branch. You could make it short or you could remove it. But now you could see the line that I always talk about, right? Well, the scrap piece off of a scrap piece also becomes study material. Of course, trying to get in the center of the screen, not the easiest. That's one of the disadvantages of doing this by yourself. Sometimes it's hard to, get it in center. See? Oh, some more scrap on scrap. Okay? Single line usually. As you get better, you might want to do a double trunk, but most people cannot handle double trunk. So keep it simple, simple line. Sacrifice branch down here. Okay, now these discards, practice. We've got a line going here. We don't want to go in two directions, so let's take this side off. Oh, there goes my apex. That's what happens when you do it on. But it's okay because this is practice piece, right? And it's not bad, look. You got this line going here. This would be too big for the location, so here we go. And then the discard of the discard. And those of you who want to commercialize bonsai, you better get really fast with this. So you got to keep practicing and build up your speed. Those of you hobbyists, you could take all the time in the world. But you could see that this is a very economical way to practice styling a bonsai. Got a winner here, okay. Let's see if I could do it without making a mistake. Well, that's okay because this is not like a live plant. Right? And then this could be almost like a double trunk, or it could just be a straight Well, I guess it's more like a double trunk, because if it needs to be a sacrifice, it has to be here. Can you see the potential if you had a material like that? Now, Hero being a greedy guy, he's going to try to get this to root. To try that, you should thin this out. So get this rooting hormone on here and put this in and cross the fingers. It may or may not work, but should it work, look, you could bypass 10 years or maybe 15 years by doing it like that. Now, if we stay with something more like this size, the chance of success will improve. Well, maybe not so down here. Well, the thing is stuck now. So anyway, well, I think it'll work better if it was like this. I've got pieces like this to work. Of course, still got too many foliage up there. So if you get it like this, I got it to work in the past. Okay, here we go. When it's so bushy, it's hard to see. We're always looking for the main line. Get the main line, make sure there's movement and taper. We cannot worry about root flare because this is just a branch. But if it was a live plant, oops, here goes. Too much talking and not enough attention to. So we just lost our apex. But we'll learn to accommodate. We'll have to create another apex down here and then shorten these up. Well, okay, so it was looking better up there when it had a bigger apex, but this isn't bad. Now, if this was a really live tree, then you'd be going, oh my God, I made a big mistake. But this is just a practice piece. So now you have some movement, and then you're gonna have to recreate an apex, but it's doable, right? So practice from a discard. Let's not screw up the apex this time. This is definitely one that can root, but if you're going to do that way, then you should remove even more of these. Just keep our main line. Well, what happens is if you keep too much foliage, then the transpirational loss is too much, and so it will not strike or root. So what you should do is to get this top really thinned out, and then the chance of success will greatly increase. So I'll probably try to get this to root. But getting something like this to root will sure cut down on the time. Well, if I'm going to do that, then I should do this too. Well, I've been pushing to finish things faster and faster. And you know, at this point, what do you got to lose except a little bit of time, right? And if this takes, we're way ahead in terms of the material. So I'll go ahead and give this a try too. Okay, typically cuttings are taken like this. You can see the 3. And if you do those between March and April, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood, you should have 90% success rate. But boring. So So what I want to do is to see if I can get these to root. Okay. Now, as we go to the right, as it gets bigger and bigger, chance of success gets less and less. But if I could get this big one to root, well, I bypass what, over 10 years. So it's worth a try, and you should go ahead and give it a try. I wish I had done this a little bit sooner in the season, because now we're almost in June, and typically if I did it a month and a half ago, much better chance. Well, I'm not sure about these big ones, but definitely when it's in this category, and definitely those smaller ones would have worked really well. And so I used to take the cuttings that was more to the left, and that was about a 90% success rate when the cuttings were taken at the right season. So now if I really want a lot, look at how much those small ones I could take from here. Well, I'm going to discard these, not because there's no potential, but this last week, Dale and I, well, because we have so many other things to prune, we already made dozens and dozens of them. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and discard this. But you don't get these large materials very often. So I am going to go ahead and give it a shot. You may or may not see the results. Should it take, I'm definitely going to shoot the video. But like I said, the chance of success on these bigger ones is very slim. Okay,